And finally, they did something quite radical for a medical doctor. They listened to their patients. I love knocking my profession, you know. And it's not universally true what I'm saying, but unfortunately it's rather true, generally speaking, for a whole lot of reasons that have nothing to do with the good intentions of the physicians. But the point is that what they found out is people have been traumatized. And then they did these studies called the Adverse Childhood Experiences Studies, ACE studies. And you can go to the internet and download your own ACE score. Now, for each of these adverse childhood experiences, which includes physical, sexual, emotional abuse, the death of a parent, the jailing of a parent, a divorce, in other words, some disruption of the attachment relationship that's so crucial for healthy development, physiologically and psychologically. Mental illness among the parents, violence in the family, parent being jailed. And by the way, what are we doing when we're jailing all these people? We're making sure that the next generation will also be troubled. For each of these adverse experiences, the risk of addiction goes up exponentially. And by the time a male child has had 6 of these experiences, his risk of becoming a substance-dependent injection-using addict is 4,600% greater than that of a male child with no such experiences. Now, why does trauma like that predispose to addictions? And I'm not saying that everybody who's traumatized becomes an addict, but I'm saying that the more trauma there is, the likelihood is far greater of addictive behaviors later on. Because it's an adaptation. The addiction is a self-soothing behavior. You see it in little babies. They'll suck their thumbs, will they not? When they're not getting the nourishing they need, emotionally. Or they'll rock themselves. Or they'll masturbate. These are self-soothing behaviors. These are adaptations to lack of nurture. So why is it, how is it that early trauma or emotional loss then predisposes to addiction? Well, first of all, because those brain circuits will not develop the way they ought to. So physiologically, it has an effect. It's not just an emotional event, it's a physiological event. That has an impact on brain circuitry, possibly for a lifetime. Number one. Number two, it gives you that tremendous pain that then you try and soothe through substance use or some other addictive behavior. So you got the pain. Number three, you're fundamentally ashamed of yourself because the child looks at everything in a very egocentric perspective, like he or she is the center of the universe. When stuff happens, it's because of him and her. So if good stuff happens, I'm a good person, I must be. But if mommy is unhappy, if I'm being beaten or being traumatized, then that's because I'm worthless. This is a deep sense of shame about the very self that predates the addiction. Of course, the addiction induces more shame, as I can tell you personally, but the shame was there already. And then, because of that shame, you emotionally isolate yourself, which further increases the need to soothe yourself. And in a spiritual sense, when the world treats you that badly in your formative years, then what kind of a worldview are you going to have? You're going to have a view of the world that's basically indifferent or even hostile. There's not going to be any sweet God in your theology. There's either going to be no God at all or a God that has singled you out for punishment. So it's spiritually devastating as well. And all that goes into the making of the addict. Now, excuse me, another myth around addiction is that somehow the drug addict is different from the rest of us. That's another myth.